Do you have a brilliant startup idea? Visit our website at eapla.com to schedule a Blue Couch meeting and launch your startup journey today.
All right, welcome back to On The Cusp. Matt Snyder back with me. We're doing our third episode here at the airport. And today with us, we've got Kyle Hand Construction, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, well, thanks for coming. So we really wanted you on here because we were doing the airport, and you guys are a big part of the airport renovation.
Yeah.
So what are y'all doing here?
So I was just telling Matt, we just finished up with the gate expansion project, which was, I think the city probably spent about $2.5 million on that.
And it looks awesome.
It does.
It's one of those projects when you hear about it, you're like, well, what's that gonna matter? And then when you see it,
Yeah.
like, wow, this looks a lot more up to date.
Yeah, so that's allowed more capacity, more holding capacity for passengers. It's a nice, updated, modern seating area. We actually won an award with the Louisiana AGC, state of Louisiana for that. Real proud of that.
Yeah.
The latest project that we're doing is the federal inspection station. So that's about a $6.5 million project for the city of Shreveport.
That's what's going to allow us to become an international airport?
International airport. So right now, they legally can't apply. I may be speaking out of turn, but the way I understand it, that you can't really apply for an international flight until you have these inspection stations, interview rooms, holding rooms. So once we get done with that, they'll be able to apply for international flight.
That's more flights, more traffic coming in and out of
more
Shreveport.
traffic.
And I think just being able to say Shreveport International Airport from a national competition standpoint is huge.
Yeah, it's to my knowledge, we've never had an international flight, so that's big.
That's big
for Northwest Louisiana.
It's really big.
For our area, yeah.
I mean, like, I was seeing the other day, like, Gulf Shores got its first commercial flight.
Yeah.
Like, first little, and I'm like, yeah, Gulf Shores is good. If we could get our first international flight, that's a huge deal.
It is, it would be. But Hand Construction is much bigger. Like, you guys are also doing the renovation of the Shreveport police station, the main police station.
Yeah.
That's a big thing right there.
So y'all have done so many big and amazing projects in Shreveport, and you've built a lot of Shreveport over the years. Give us the back history of Hand Construction with your dad and how it all came to be and where you are now.
Yeah, so my dad, Casey Hand, he went to school for construction management. It was ULM, at the time, Monroe, and went to work for a local company here around mid-70s. Ended up moving to, I believe it was Houston at the time, working for a big company called Fluor, which is one of the biggest companies in the world. So he spent some time working for Fluor, and at the time he had just had a baby, my older brother Brad, and they wanted him to move overseas, and he just kind of decided that wasn't for him. So came back to Shreveport, worked for another company for a few years, and then 1980 started his own business, Hand Construction in 1980.
That's so awesome, because you look at Hand Construction now, and I think people, especially in Shreveport, are so bad about this, of just thinking, oh, that huge company, it just exists. It just got here one day. Yeah. They forget somebody like took a leap and started doing it.
He's probably in his late 20s, 28, 29, 30 years old, started a construction business. He did have a good opportunity, good start with his dad being an architect, Randall Hand.
Cool.
Was an architect, so he was able to help him get a few jobs, but he's worked hard. I can remember.
So do you know any of the early jobs?
One of the first projects that he did was the Ninth Street buildings, 2-story, 2 or 3-story concrete structures over there on the Night building, which are still in use today. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I was in a meeting. I think Caterpillar Schools has a bunch of offices in those now, and I was in a meeting a month ago in those.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Diesel Driving Academy's over there, I believe.
That's awesome. That would be your first. I mean, those seem like big buildings for early jobs.
So he's started the business in 1980, and did a lot of work traveling. A lot of work locally, a lot of work in Texas, Mississippi. over the years, we've done a lot of different types of projects.
Right.
A lot of commercial, light industrial.
So what do y'all like to do? Do you like, y'all kind of, I feel like every time I talk to you, you're doing something totally that seems random to what you were doing the last time I talked to you.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of the local market. There's a lot of different industries in the local market. And I kind of look at it, we're kind of insulated here, right? We don't get the real big highs that the rest of the country may get with booming growth like a Dallas or Austin market, but we also don't get those low lows with all the different industries, oil and gas, Barksdale,
Now, what about the big construction boom coming, with all the data centers? That's gonna, you think they're gonna have to import all that labor?
Well, I know some of the guys that are going to be working on it. So Amazon hired Stack Infrastructure, right? So Stack Infrastructure hired a couple large general contractors that have experience with mission critical data center type projects. Those guys are from out of town, but they're good at what they do, so it makes sense, right? But they hire a lot of subcontractors.
Right. So there's opportunity there. Yeah. You think there's opportunity for local?
Yeah,
companies?
I mean it's already happened. They're already under contract. There's local subcontractors that are.
One of my big clients just got a great contract on it, and I think. And I was talking to Justin Dixon last night at my concert in Providence, and he he's really proud that they're getting more and more companies. He rattled off probably 6 or 8 companies that are already under contract with this first deal.
Justin and LAP are doing an incredible job.
Incredible job.
It's
we're competitive, and I'm glad he's there and doing that.
Yeah.
When the data center thing was announced, I was like, how much of this work is really gonna land to our local companies? And I'll give him the credit. He has fought to make sure that at least some of the big parts do.
Well, I mean, even you've got a lot of local subcontractors that are getting to be a part of it. You've got a lot of Louisiana companies, some from South Louisiana, but they do a lot of regional type work. So there's a lot of money staying in Louisiana and a lot of money staying in North Louisiana, Northwest Louisiana with home-based Northwest Louisiana subcontractors. It's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
You're talking about insulating. That should insulate us a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, at the BRF, that's what we focus on is the diversification of the economy here. So the broader the industry base, the better off we are, because we always ride that oil and gas way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if we can keep that going, that's key for us.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so hand construction, y'all built hospitals. What is there a specialty? I mean, I don't even know how to ask this.
I guess to answer your question, what do we specialize in? I don't think, there's a lot of companies that may specialize in metal buildings, or they may specialize in multifamily. We've just kind of tried to, sometimes there's not a lot of work in the area, so you have to be willing and able to go after a different type of project. And a lot of that's, you're not really going and chasing. You may have a customer, a friend, or a referral that wants you to look at a project. So we've been able to adapt and use our processes. A lot of it is real big and heavy on pre-construction, design assist type work. Cool. The more time you can spend on that, the better. You kind of, when an owner decides to go design, bid, build, where they design a project, put it out for bid, you lose the value of an experienced contractor getting involved early.
I was going to ask you, how often are you having to bid this stuff, and how often are you just doing? Yeah.
Well, a lot of our work is negotiated. A lot of it's short bidder, invited bidders list.
Oh, cool.
So we have 2 projects right now, for example, with the city of Shreveport. Those are hard bid public jobs. One being the big police headquarters. Renovation, addition. That's a real big project. But the rest of our work is Eagle Distributing, cold storage warehouse facility. Brad Nichols, that company's a great little, note. Everybody hears about it, but they're growing and been building their business for the last 15, 20 years.
We should get Brad on.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
We're doing work for Shreveport Specialist Hospital.
Oh, cool.
Hospital addition for Flex Institute and Spine Center guys, Dr. Nunley, Steve Atchison.
Yeah.
Other projects that we're looking at, we're going to be building a new jewelry store.
Oh,
we've
yeah.
been working on helping the architect on the
cool.
design and pricing and pre-construction on that. Robertson Produce is going to be another one coming across from the downtown airport.
Awesome.
That should be getting started.
My
this
family owned a produce house called Tri-State Produce.
Okay.
My great-grandfather right around the corner from that. So that's good. That's a good spot for a grocery supply company. I used to pick up the groceries on Saturday with my dad when I was a little boy, and we'd drop them off to the back door of restaurants from Tri-State Produce down there. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about doing business in Shreveport. Because, we need to attract all the business we can to Shreveport. Is Shreveport an easy place to do business?
Yeah, I don't find it too difficult, too challenging, and I think, like I was mentioning earlier, I met with somebody at the MPC, so they're in the process of working on a few things like modernizing, minimizing some of the requirements for, right now you've got parking lot requirements.
The parking
is.
We have not talked about that on this show yet, and that's a huge deal. I really think that is so outdated of an idea to have those huge parking lots everywhere.
Yeah, so I don't know where it's at in the process. I don't think it's quite approved yet, but I know they're in the process of trying to reduce or eliminate that requirement, which is kind of forcing an owner building a new building. Well, he may think or know he only needs 10 spots because he's not going to have a full store.
Right.
But he may be required to build 20, or they're gonna be reducing that, which is it's gonna save costs. It's gonna allow for more green space. So they're doing some of that, reducing some of the landscape, or just taking a look at it.
It's gonna put some empty buildings, people back in
Back
them. The
into
one that I
use.
can think of that is crazy is empty, but is that old Eastridge grocery store right at the corner right there on Ellerby.
Yeah.
That little old gas station.
Yeah.
I've had 100 people ask me, have an idea for that place, and nobody will go because of parking.
Yeah.
And, that's an empty building sitting right in a huge
It is good to hear
corridor.
that they're pretty flexible on that,
Yeah.
and they're willing to entertain, a change to that, because that'll change business a lot.
MBC is one of those groups that you heard a lot of bickering about through the years, and I think you're right. I think they've changed their way of dealing with the customer.
They've probably heard some of the complaints, maybe, but I mean, as far as I know, they're actively
That's
working
great. That is good to hear.
modernize it.
It's
Yeah.
good to hear that from you, because I would think in your industry, if anybody was having a lot of problems with getting things approved or whatnot, building the type of buildings you build, you would probably know about it. So.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk a little bit more about the airport. I mean, I've heard that one of the keys to the airport's growth is the relocation of the tower.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that project?
Yeah, it actually just came out on the street this week.
So that's a real thing.
It's a real active project. They put out a RFQ for Seymour, construction manager at risk. So contractors like ourselves will be pursuing it.
Can you build an air traffic control?
We'd love to.
Yeah, you build a
We'd
tower.
love to.
That's true. Because what I've heard is, in order for us to grow, to add more gates and gain more flights, we got to relocate the tower so that it can see everything that's out there. Because the air traffic controller has to see it.
The regional airport in Shreveport, where we're at, it's been actively growing and expanding for the last 10 or 15 years. And I'm not sure everybody's really paid attention to that. You've got a new parking lot now.
Yeah.
You've got gate expansion, holding capacity. We're doing the international inspection station, which will allow an international flight. The control tower, the relocation that we were just talking about. So that'll be on the southwest corner. And it's city money, it's federal money. So there's a lot of work behind the scenes that goes into that with guys like Mark Crawford and everybody on the board and the city government.
Mark's done a great. I mean, we've had Mark on and we've given Mark tons of credit, but he really has done a good job.
They have.
Just look at the body of work.
Absolutely,
And
it's
with
incredible.
After the control tower relocation, they'll obviously have to demo the old one, and then That will make room to connect a new terminal, which will probably give you space for 3 or 4 more gates, and connecting the terminals down there. There's also a out for bid right now, roughly $3 million parking lot expansion, another one.
We heard about that
3,
one.
4, 500 spaces. So
That's
there's
big.
a lot of positive things.
Yeah, nobody will be parking in the grass anymore when you come here.
No.
There'll be enough parking space to handle the
There's
traffic.
going to be plenty of
That's
parking.
awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, thank you so much. This has been great. We appreciate you coming out and
Yeah.
spending a little time with
I
us.
appreciate the time.
man, I appreciate it.
Enjoy the podcast? We would love your feedback about today's show and who you think should be our next guest. Send us an email at info@eapla.com. Also, be sure to share the show and leave a comment on our social media post.